All right, so we are getting into our first match here. It will be on Battle of Dunes. I'm going to guess that we are going to see very long range fighting going on. So we'll see how this pans out. And let's get a quick rundown of ships here on the Flying Restaurant, captained by Zin Cathion, as we mentioned before. We've got that double Artemis on the bottom deck, Mercury up top, and Artemis flare gun up on the wings. And on the Goel the School de Pada. I'm not even sure how you pronounce that. We've got Falon captaining a double Artemis side, another Artemis front, and a Gat mortar on the other side. Rick, would you like to get the Waddling ships?
Yes, on the Mucky Duck, we have left side Hades, Watcher, Lumberjack. On right side, we've got Watcher, Carronade. And being fired upon heavily is the Got Any Grapes with the left side Hades, Heavy Flak, Lumberjack, and the right side Carronade, Watcher. And there's a lot of action going down right now. The Flying Restaurant and the Skull Powder focusing on the Mucky Duck as the Waddling ships come in. Oh my god, these guys are being aggressive.
This is the most aggressive pair of galleons I've ever seen in my life. I thought for certain they were just gonna back up into their own end, but they're charging straight forward into this like 5-6 Artemis fire that's going on the Mucky
Yes,
Duck.
they are. They're just banking on being able to tank that damage to get close enough to those heavy guns to be effective. And it might be working. The Skull Parda's bouncing off the ground. Its balloons going down. If they just hit with those 4 big heavy guns consistently, then Skull Parda's in big trouble. Oh, but those Watcher shots missing the Skull Parda, going right underneath.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's been all the Mucky Duck taking damage. The engines are still down. Skull is continuing to lose his balloon, but no permanent damage done whatsoever.
Oh,
ooh, that's
but
a
big
nice
Watcher barrage.
Which actually doesn't do a damn thing. If you take a look at it, not
surprising.
a single component was taken out there.
Yeah, I mean, just the damage too widely spread. However, it's going to be taking its toll very soon. Skullpowder's balloon down once again. They're just ignoring the Flying Restaurant. The Flying Restaurant is not kitted out for that close-range damage dealing. It's got all those arms.
But he's got
good
the
for
armor down
disabling.
on the Mucky Duck again, and firing off those explosive rounds coming from the Artemis.
It's true, but Skullpowder's gone down.
Skullpowder has gone down. Mucky Duck, however, has to be incredibly careful here, as it could soon follow, as the Skullpowder should be actually able to respawn.
Oh, I bet they're all just
really close here.
If the Got Any Grapes can just get up a little bit faster. Oh my goodness, I'm really surprised the Waddling are not all grouped around the hull at this point. Oh, there we have it. Got Any Grapes got up on the Flying Restaurant. The Flying Restaurant is going down, balloons down. The Waddling made a big gamble here, but it has paid off.
Trying to take out those large guns. Oh, it takes a huge bounce onto that terrain. I really don't think that they should have tried to go down to match the Mucky Duck. You know, I know that they were getting lumberjacks fired on them, but they should have actually just stayed up a lot more and more or less been on top of the galleons, not taking any fire there. So the Waddling managed to come out of here with a 2-0 lead, which is actually somewhat surprising to me.
Yeah, it's pretty damn respectable.
I really thought that at least one of those galleons would go down, especially on that approach. But let's see, Flying Restaurant. So they've got a little bit of a pincer maneuver going on here, but both of these ships are a little bit too far currently, I think.
Interesting mix of personnel we have on the SIRI team. We've got Zincathion, who I believe is flying the Iris ship of the pair, and we have Phelan in the Skull Powder flying what I believe is the SIRS part of the pair.
Yep. All right, so we'll see if SIRI can pull it up here. They can really even this up. It shouldn't be too difficult, you know, especially with the Mucky Duck being as low as it is on health. Large set of Watcher barrage coming out to the Mobula, but Mobula's really one of those ships which doesn't care too much about Watcher.
Well, It's not so difficult for a mobular, and with the setup the flying restaurant's got, it's very easy for the flying restaurant to just keep disabling those heavy guns.
Absolutely. Well,
The
my
skull
point was the
powder can just get a
Mobulas. Just saying that the Mobula is one of those ships which doesn't have everything all close
yeah.
bunched together. And,
Yeah, it's not all clustered up like a junker, for example. But the got any grapes taking heavy damage, getting sniped from both the skull powder and the flying restaurant. Any grapes may be about to go down here. The mucky duck is too far away to be able to provide effective and consistent damage. Look at those lumbers and those Hades arcing over the flying restaurant. As got any grapes is taking heavy damage. Got any grapes just needs a few more hits. It's going to go down.
Ooh, nice hits coming in on the flying restaurant, but they do manage to. Yeah, once again, that Watcher not all that effective against a Mobula like that. Maybe they can try to get an engine or
I didn't see why. I didn't see why they didn't go for an offensive flare there. I mean, the flying restaurant popped off a couple of flares and they got any grapes. That'd be like two big fire stacks right there. But anyway, got any grapes taking heavy damage now. Got any grapes about to go down.
Another set of Watcher barrage coming into the flying restaurant. Got any grapes has gotten basically every single disabled and does go down. And now these two SIRI ships should be able to just turn on the Mucky Duck. And the Mucky Duck, being a large lumbering galleon, is going to have a tough time getting away.
The Mucky Duck was just not hitting consistently enough, unfortunately. And now, it's hitting now, but it's too late. The flying restaurant is going down.
Yeah, he should be able to get his balloon repaired before he gets too low here. I am a little bit surprised that the captain here didn't bring drogue chute, just because of the amount of lumberjack that's coming in from the other team.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you're with a triple arc galleon, I'm imagining you're going to be trying to hug the height ceiling, so you've got a lot of space to descend. And now the Mucky Duck's taking incredible amounts of damage.
Oh, any fire onto the Mucky Duck will take it down here, but those shots just missing. Managing to replay the hull, but is gonna probably go down here.
Why is he not going for the cover in the ribs? Why is he going out here? What is he doing?
I'm not entirely sure, but the Mucky Duck does go down.
Dear.
It almost feels to me like they just decided, screw it.
Sacrifice themselves. You know, well, I think if they'd gone forward instead of backwards, they might have got a decent amount of cover in those ribs, but they backpedaled instead.
Looks like they did lose a member, but it was on the Gotney Grapes, not the Mucky Duck.
Alrighty.
So we'll see if SIRI here. Okay. So it looks like both teams actually have a missing member. So we are going to get a little bit of a pause in the game here as both the ships get their members back, hopefully. Of course, once again, the Mucky Duck was not the one that lost the crew member, so it wasn't exactly their, that's not why they died. It was a little bit of an interesting move to have them not try to take cover, but once again, I really feel like with the fact that the Gotney Grapes had to spawn all the way back in their corner, and the Mucky Duck was all the way in red side, they probably just wanted to say, okay, you know what, let's get this tied up. It's going to take forever for the Gotney Grapes to get back over here, so it's not going to be worth it. And let's just reset, and now we're down to
well, I feel if you're ever deciding to do that, then there's something wrong with your basic strategy. I mean, I think there should always be a way to think, well, maybe somehow I can at least try to escape. I can at least try to save my ship. I mean, if he was a captain, a pilot captain, for example, I mean, I think he could have probably, kerosened into the clouds behind these ribs, sort of done some tight little turns, some tight little maneuvers, maybe made a go of it, but as it stands, he just got picked apart.
Yeah. Well, regardless, it was a nice little comeback there by SIRI, being down 2-0. They now tie it up against the Waddling, which is always going to be a little bit of a tough time going against any set of Duck ships, honestly. And the Ducks are quite well versed in how to play the game. They have trophies upon trophies of winning, tournament after tournament. And so being able to come back from a 2-0 deficit as it is gonna be a good little, confidence booster here for SIRI.
Yes, well, I mean, definitely, if you look at these...
Oh no, and the Godly Grapes
oh,
actually slams into
oh
the...
dear, oh dear,
Oh,
oh
that
dear,
was
got any
nasty.
grapes? Yeah, that big sort of protruding thingamajigger on the bottom of the Got Any Grapes just slammed into the husk of that ship. And now Got Any Grapes is all dressed up with nowhere to go. Look at all those mercs and arts smashing against the hull of the Got Any Grapes. Got Any Grapes is in a huge amount of trouble. The Mucky Ducks miles away, absolutely miles away, no position to provide any support.
Got Grapes is just coming on forward, and Artemis was changed recently, but in this case against Galleons, it's still a huge ship, huge target to hit, and it is proven to be extremely effective here. As the Got Grapes is just gonna go down, and now the Mucky Duck is sitting out here by its lonesome. Gonna try to start using those lumberjack watches along with that Hades, but
no effects.
Yeah.
Oh,
First
I mean,
of all,
good damage on the
it.
balloon, but not enough to A, take it down, or B, do any component damage. And now the Mucky Ducks, he's already got 3 components disabled, and Got Any Grapes is miles away. I think the Mucky Duck's going to go down here.
Yeah, another set of Roger barrages mostly missing. Skull Pado is actually turning a little bit to the side, which let a lot of those Watcher shots go right on through, and now the Mucky Duck is just getting absolutely hammered by these Artemis shots.
Well, I mean, as we know, of course, the Artemises have been nerfed recently. Those rockets significantly slower. But if you're a good gunner, you know how to adapt, and if you've been practicing, you'll take out the Mucky Duck as is about to happen. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, their effectiveness of Artemis is still great. It's just a little bit harder to hit with them, but as I said, against Galleons, it's such a huge target, you have plenty of space to still hit, against something like a goldfish or a squid, a little bit more of a nimbler ship, you might have an easier time, but with these Galleons, you can see it's just, they're absolutely getting hammered. And I'm still extremely surprised that the Waddling have decided to do this charge forth type of method that they're going after.
Well,
I really expected them to sit back and just use lumberjacks.
The thing is, you're going to get out-sniped if you play a pure sniping game with an art junker and a mobula, because you've got all those mercs, all those Artemises picking apart your heavy guns.
Well, they only have 1 Mercury, and a lumberjack can outrange an Artemis.
Well, that's the thing, but your free Artemises against 1 lumberjack, that lumberjack's going to be taken out most of the time, and also heavy guns take longer to repair than small guns do. On top of that, the Junker and the Mobula can control their engage distance, whereas the Galleons, have to turn 90 degrees, go forward, and then turn around again. So in a pure sniping battle, the Junker and the Mobula are going to have the advantage. That's why, in the first engage, the 2 Galleons tried to get in close, and it worked for them, because those heavy guns do so much damage when you get in close.
Fair enough. Although at that point, I would believe that they'd like to turn around to the other side and use Carronade instead of continuing on with the lumberjack, but
Well, I mean, I don't feel that. Honestly, nothing against the Waddling. I love what they're trying to do, but I don't feel that Double Galleon is the most competitive build at the moment. The meta, the sniping meta anyway, is leaning towards the Mobula Junker kind of a murky Artemisy kind of build. And I mean, I love the the Waddling just saying, hey, screw it, we're going to do what we like. But I feel that the SIRI just have the innate advantage here, just in terms of builds, especially on this wide open map.
Possibly. I mean, I still think that they could have done something a little bit longer range if they really needed to. Try to use those to outrange Artemis, but we are where we are with a 4-2 lead for SIRI.
Well,
here.
Look at the Got Any Grapes. Already the Got Any Grapes has got 2 guns down.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if the Ducks can pull some sort of magic out of their hats.
Oh, the Waddling just took a bump against each other, throwing off those gun arcs. I think they're going to have to retreat behind the Not Leviathan here.
Thankfully they are behind these clouds now, so they should be able to avoid the continual fire coming in from SIRI, but you also don't want to be sitting around in that dust cloud forever.
All right, well, there we have it. Flares going down from the flying restaurant. Don't want any interruption in their fire. Well, yes, now the Waddling's going to have to reconsider things.
Let's see where. Next map will be on Northern Fjord, so unfortunately, I think both of these maps are going to be very similar story. So we'll see what the Ducks are able to do in the second map. Of course, this one's not quite over yet. I've seen way too many, way too many comebacks from 4-0, 4-1, 4-2 down to come back and win the game. So you can't. That's one of the beautiful things about this game is you can't ever quite just call it. It's almost certain, but there's always a chance.
I have a feeling we might see a bit of an anticlimactic end here. I feel whenever the Waddling try and poke their heads out, they're just going to get all their guns shut off. They're just going to get picked apart. I feel this could just be a slow, loss for the paddle. Oh well, the Waddling.
As one of the Waddling ships shoots a little bit of Watcha into the Gotney grapes, maybe to tell him to get a move on it.
We can see a few sort of former paddling members here in the Waddling. Waddling continuing. I mean, obviously not just the name, just continuing the tradition of the galleon heavy paddling. Of course, you can see Squash there, a captain of the original paddling.
Yep. Alright, so what are the kind of ammo do? Let's see, Ilmatar has that Lesmok. Charge, and is that Lochnagar? On the
Ilmatar, yeah, Lock, Charged, and Lesmok.
So I guess, are they trying to lock the Lumberjack?
yeah, lock Lumberjack. It's bloody devastating.
I guess you can also lock the Carronade. You just don't see, or at least I don't see Lumberjack being used all that often.
Oh, I've seen it used against me. Probably by Nubs, actually, who's, I think, is captaining the Mucky Duck at the moment.
As a Frogger on the other ship has got...
Yeah, I know a thing or two about flying against duck galleons and duck lumberjacks. Yeah, that lock lumberjack is pretty effective.
And Frogger has, let's see, Lesmok, Heavy, and Lochnagar. So Lochnagar on both of these heavy guns. Alright, we are getting a little bit of movement going on.
There we go, Spot's gone down, they got any grapes?
Yeah, I mean, the place where SIRI is going to be incredibly hard to engage them.
Oh no, the Waddling taking a bounce off each other again! Nubs and Fluiter.
I don't know. Giant galleons.
Yeah, I mean,
those giant galleons just
smacking
around, hard to maneuver around, hard to turn, and Mucky Duck is actually probably going to get caught in the sandstorm that's rolling through as well. Especially since they just are now dropping down instead of they stopped their backwards momentum and are now going forth.
Oh, you see a lot of these shots just exploding just short of the Mucky Duck here. Oh, now the Mucky Duck's going to try and go in through the cloud, but they know he's there. They haven't got him spotted, but they know he's there. Will the Waddling strategy pay off? Will they manage to get close? The Mucky Duck is exposed now. Oh, not quite. No, he's not. No, there's another dust cloud. The Mucky Duck is trying to use the dust cloud to get in close.
Yep. But as you said, SIRI definitely knows where these ships are coming from. You can't really catch anybody by surprise with a galleon unless you're on a map maybe like Perton or maybe even Duladon. But on this ship, on this map, even though there's these Roman clouds that pass on through, if you know where a galleon was about the last minute, you should probably know where the galleon is, even if you can't see him.
Ah, dear.
And with these shots that are coming in, you can definitely also follow your hit marker, try to find where that galleon is. Now, they are getting a little bit split up here as the Gotney Grapes is... Oh,
maybe it's a flank of some sort.
Going around the side, but they're also doing it in wide open space. There are no clouds there to actually uh, cover that approach at all, and now the Mucky Duck should be seen as well. So we'll see where the SIRI team focuses their attention. Now, it should be noted that, they only need one kill, so whether or not it's a flank, they can just focus on one ship, and looks like they are going to be focused on Got Any Grapes.
Yeah, all Got Any Grapes is out in the open here. Oh, here we go. If the Got Any Grapes can just get into cover behind those ribs, it'll allow the Mucky Duck to come in.
Yep, we'll
here we go. Mucky
Duck's
turning his guns. Oh, yes, now the Mucky Duck's in the position to do some serious damage to the flying restaurant here. Oh, the first few Hades missing.
Coming in, missing.
That that was a bad miss.
Yeah, now the Hades is missing as well, and now the Mucky Duck is actually stuck in some dust clouds there. A few of those Hades shots finally connecting, but the
accuracy not consistent enough, unfortunately. I know. I mean, with those heavy guns and those Hades, you've got to make every shot count. And I mean, just the pressure maybe just a bit too much, and just the subtle movements of the flying restaurant, just throwing off those shots. There's just the slow movement of those Hades, of those Quatcher, just throwing off the gunner, I guess.
Yeah, in the meantime, the Got Any Grapes is just getting absolutely hammered here.
I think this is over.
Armor is down, permanent damage being done, so extremely close, and these two SIRI ships are just going to close on in here, knock out that again, and there you go. That is a 1-0 victory, 5-2
5-2
for
victory.
a 1-0 lead for SIRI. Man, I cannot talk today, which is great when you're casting a match.
Absolutely. It happens at the worst possible time. But anyway, yes, SIRI are 1-up on the Waddling. Got to be a big confidence booster for them.
Yeah, are you actually surprised to see that? The Sunday, it wouldn't be in the finals regardless, because they would face each other in the next round, which is the semifinals. But the matchup between the two does hang in the balance, with SIRI making a serious push here to not have that happen. And we have, it looks like, the exact same ship. So let's give a quick rundown on the flying restaurant. Once again, we got that double Artemis front, Mercury up top with Artemis and flare beacon on the side, and on the Skolpata we've got the double Artemis one side, another Artemis front, and Gat mortar on the other side. And the blue team?
Yes, indeedy. I'll do that when I've logged in. There we go. On the Mucky Duck, we have a left side Hades, Watcher, Lumberjack. Right side Watcher, heavy carronade. On the Got Any Grapes, we have a left side Hades, heavy flak, Lumberjack, and on the right side we've got a heavy carronade and a Watcher. And now,
I mean, this is starting very much the same way as the last game did, with the Ducks, with the Waddling running on fourth and getting absolutely peppered by these
flying restaurant's going to have to move forward to the side in a minute, because he's getting zoned out. Yeah, the flying restaurant can no longer fire on the Duck ships as they come in. Only the Skolpata, and those big galleons are getting dangerously close now.
Yep, and the Skull's probably going to want to drop down by itself here. Yeah, there he goes, moving out of those shots now. A lot of those Hwacha barrages missing once more. A few of those Hades actually hitting this time, but a lot of them going completely wild. And I almost feel like that's as big of a story as SIRI using those Artemis' getting great effectiveness. Is so many heavy gun misses so far coming from the Waddling team, and in Hades as well. I mean, you see all of these shots just fly straight under or straight by the Skolpata. There you go, another set here. Hades flying too low. Lumberjack was flying too low. So the thing with heavy guns is if you're not hitting with them, you are absolutely killing yourself.
Yeah, well, no question about that. The Mucky Duck and the Got Any Grapes looks like they're going to try. Are they going to try and take cover here behind the big ice arch? I guess we'll see. Looks like they're splitting. They're splitting either direction. This could be a good idea. I guess we'll see. Might not be. I'm starting to lead towards the might not be side. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, this will also depend very much because now they do have split fire
Oh
coming from
no!
these two
Oh
ships.
yeah, they're not focus firing
Ah,
anymore.
there we
The
go.
SIRI is not
Finally.
focus firing. SIRI, why aren't you focus firing?
Well, they are managing to take out a lot of guns on both these ships, so
Yeah, but look,
that's
they're
going to
not
be well
doing.
for them.
Yeah,
But
taking a lot of component damage, but they're not doing. They're doing barely any hull damage at all. And now
yeah,
the Waddling is dangerously close here. A few big hits to those heavy guns, and then the SIRI is in a lot of trouble.
yeah, you know, these two series ships are going to be at their most effectiveness when you do get what like 5, 6 Artemis firing at the same target at once, along with that Mercury. But if they get split up like they
Gonny
are,
Grapes is charging. He is going for short range on the flying restaurant. He wants to shotgun that mobula.
yeah, and I mean that's gonna be very effective. If they can do so, although they are turning their
Oh no, he's turning his
broadside
long
back towards
range.
it.
There we go.
I think they want to get that Hades on there. Now with that close range, they are actually managing to hit, so
Oh,
they've
now
solved
flying.
that missing problem.
Gonny
But
Grapes
Godney Grapes
is in
taking a lot
trouble.
of damage. Yeah. Well, Skull Panda is actually way over there. They are nowhere even close to this fight. Godney Grapes still under heavy fire from the flying restaurant, though mostly by themselves. You know, at this point, the Monkey Duck could really just turn its attention to the flying restaurant instead of keeping the Skull Panda down there. I think that actually would have been the better option, but instead, Godney Grapes is taking, you know, a little bit of damage at a time, but all of it is on permanent haul.
Oh, flying restaurant. Yep, its balloon's gone down now. There we go. That's why you don't want to let them get too close. Firing restaurant. Oh, devastating damage. Devastating damage. Lumberjack. Arcing in. Heavy flak. Arcing in. Flying restaurant trying to go beneath that. Got any grapes, but they should not have let them get so bloody close. And the flying restaurant about to go down. And now the Mucky Ducks.
Can they repair just in time? They get it back up, but then
so. Mucky Ducks come down to intercept.
Yeah, but they may actually. Oh, but now they're actually on that carronade side of Godney Grips, and that's gonna do horrible.
And Skull Potter just cannot do enough damage quickly enough to distract those two big galleons from killing the flying restaurant.
Flying restaurant actually managed to get its armor right up as one more
of
those Watcher bursts would have killed it.
I can't even see the flying restaurant's perma hull anymore.
Yeah, it's incredibly minuscule at this point. Skull Potter's got to watch out as it's had its balloon popped, and ducks have flown in here and absolutely disrupted everything that SIRI was set up to do.
I mean, if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna focus fire with those little guns, if you're gonna fire with those little guns, I mean, you gotta focus fire, or you're not gonna get a kill on a galleon.
Yep, flying restaurant's got to be a little bit careful here as it's backing up. You don't want to be hitting that debris behind you. Now, the Mucky Duck actually didn't really have any arc on anybody finally turning to hit the
Oh, he's got an arc on the flying rest. Look at that.
Oh, flying restaurant rising
up rather quickly.
Grapes being
to part here.
Godney Grapes
Grapes gonna go down!
It does go down. That is a big victory there for SIRI, managing to take out at least one of these ships. It was going to be very hard for the
flying restaurant goes down as well, though.
As I get kicked out of the game.
Well, that's unfortunate. I guess it'll just have to be me narrating the action.
Here.
Skull Potters coming in on the Mucky Duck with those Artemis firing away, taking out all the guns on the Mucky Duck. The Mucky Duck's ally is far away, and Skull Potters' ally is just going to be coming back in. There we go. There's the flying restaurant. Low down. It's only a matter of time before he comes up and they start focus firing. The Mucky Duck. Godney Grapes is coming in very slowly. I'm not sure if the Godney Grapes decide to give up his ally yet. Godney Grapes is coming in. Not as fast as he would if he had kerosene, but he's coming in. And the Skull Potter and the flying restaurant are just ripping the Mucky Duck apart. Godney Grapes could come in just at the wrong time here. Mucky Duck's just completely disabled. There's no way he's getting out of this alive.
Yeah,
and there's the kill shot.
Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a weird
oh
connection hiccup.
Oh dear. Ooh, this could be semi-meat grindy here as the Godney Grapes reveals his position with that fire. Now the Flying Restaurant and the Skull Parter have got a bead on the Got Any Grapes. Got Any Grapes is going to start getting picked apart by that focus fire.
All right, so it looks like I assume that the Flying Restaurant went down in that 20 seconds that I was disconnected from the game.
Yes, he did indeed. Got Any Grapes tried to save him, and now he's having second thoughts about it.
Yep. All right.
Looks like the Got Any Grapes may be avoiding a meat grind scenario by descending low here. You know, sort of zoning them out using the cover of that bridge. High angle lumberjack shots. Oh, that's very
one
impressive.
of those actually connects.
Very well arced. He arced from it, you know, from the bottom of the map to the top of the map over that bridge. Very impressive indeed.
Yeah, but that continues to actually give away their position, and a lot of those return shots are now coming on in.
Yeah, I mean, well, definitely it was a mistake to give up their position like that. They should have known the Mucky Duck was dead in the water. And now the Mucky Duck's coming back in, finally.
But in the meantime, the Got Any Grapes is, once again, so many components out, so many guns out, one of the engines out, and that
yeah, the
fire is just continuing
arcs
on.
being rained down by the Skull Parter, Flying Restaurant, you know, hooking in that Merc, hooking in those arcs.
Wow,
Got
so
Any
much
Grapes.
damage. Oh my god, that is a huge gobs of damage. All of those shots hitting consistently there, taking out a ton of the permanent hull in quick succession.
Got Any Grapes, you know, trying to use the cover of the bridge here, but not having a lot of success. Using Phoenix Claw for continuously using Phoenix Claw here. I mean, he thought the components were under enough stress as it was. Oh, I guess, you know, he's using it because he wants this to do this tight little maneuver underneath the bridge here. And now there's the Mucky Duck getting focus fired. Oh, is that a mistake that they didn't finish off the Got Any Grapes? We shall see.
Well, the Got Any Grapes was in a little bit of cover. It did also have
they're splitting focus. They're splitting focus again.
Same thing as last time. I mean, I guess maybe they want to disable those guns.
I guess so. But I mean, the Got Any Grapes is heavily damaged. They might be able to take him out on his own. On their own, yeah, the Got Any Grapes. Oh, but the Got Any Grapes balloon is down. I think might have been one of those Lochnagar lumberjack shots I was talking about.
The Flying Restaurant, yeah.
Look how much of a disadvantage that the moment that the balloon of the Flying Restaurant is taken down, it can't aim that Merc. It's just going down. It's getting those Hades, that flak, that lumberjack arc down onto such a huge disadvantage. That's why, you know, close range. I mean, these galleons have the advantage.
Yeah. Let's go. In the meantime, Skull Parter and the Mucky Duck here, taking a little pot shot at each other. But
Skull Parter's got to help. It's got to help the Flying Restaurant here.
Oh, a huge flak shot comes in, and down goes the Flying Restaurant. I think that was a flak shot.
They split their focus. They didn't finish off. The Got Any Grapes.
And now Skull Parter is gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll see how fast and where the Flying Restaurant will be able to respawn, and a lot of those lumberjack shots arcing on up. A couple finally connect, knocking down the balloon, but Skull Parter's got a long way to fall, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem there. And now the Flying Restaurant has come back up and is going to continue its assault on the Got Any Grapes. But in the meantime, Got Any Grapes is actually connecting with all of the shots on the Skull Parter. Finally, there you go.
I think
that's what happens when you actually manage to connect with most of those shots. That's what we usually see from these high-level teams, all those shots connecting. And
no, I think there's a danger of a meat grind nightmare happening for SIRI here. The Flying Restaurant is now in the arcs of both the Mucky Duck and the Got Any Grapes.
Got Any Grapes has lost his permanent hull again. Can we get
here's their opportunity.
Permanent damage in? There we go. And
there we go. So there, they seized the opportunity. Now this could be a meat grind nightmare for the Waddling.
And maybe we'll get a little bit of save here. They had to take that down before any permanent damage got put in onto Flying Restaurant. You know,
heavy damage being done to the Flying Restaurant here.
If they do manage to... Oh, they actually haven't gotten the balloon back up. There we go, finally getting that back up.
But those arts starting to hook in. Those arts taking out the guns of the Mucky Duck.
And the Flying Restaurant at this minute is just trying to go up and down, try to make sure that the least amount of those hits actually, least amount of shots actually hit. And the Mucky Duck is just basically not even going to bother. It looks like they are just going to sit here, tank the hull as much as they possibly can, and try to hit as much as they possibly can.
Oh, the Mucky Duck being ripped pieces here. Got any grapes should not make the mistake of expecting his position, and he's too far away anyway.
Absolutely. So good job by SIRI team there, managing to take out the Gotney Grapes just basically in the nick of time. It was going to be quite hard for them to continue surviving under these massive galleon shots, but managing to take out the Gotney Grapes, you know, still got to agree with you though that the lack of focus fire from SIRI coming back to haunt them a little bit at times.
Yeah, now the Gotney Grapes have decided to pop a few shots off at the SIRI team and have turned around and are fleeing. Interesting. Maybe they're trying to tempt them a bit closer. Doesn't look like SIRI are taking the bait.
Well, when you are a 4-3, you know, you do sometimes get a little bit of a bloodlust in your eyes. You know, you do decide, you know, hey, we just need one more kill. Let's get in there and do it. And so it's really a test of patience in this case, to try to, you know, make sure that you're not going to overextend yourself and find yourself in a 2v1 situation for the other team, and then suddenly it's 4-4, and you know you only have one of your ships on the board.
Goldparter, Flying Restaurant, staying in position here. You know, that gentleman style strategy, you know, staying in this position with the Mobula and the Archunker. Oh, and now the Gotney Grapes
Has been spotted and is getting peppered with shots again.
Getting peppered. Looks like they might have learned from last time here. The Skullparter and the Flying Restaurant focusing fire on the Gotney Grapes.
And they just have to continue that. They basically, you know, if the Mucky Duck comes in, don't.
It doesn't matter if one of the SIRI ships gets killed. They just need to kill one galleon, and they've done it. They're progressing.
And the Mucky Duck is getting rather close to Skullpanda here, and it looks like that is going to be the.
There we go. The Gatling going down, and the Gotney Grapes.
Oh, Skullpanda
now that armor is exposed.
Huge amounts of damage, however. Oh my God, that was a lot of damage suddenly.
Yep, that was the Gatling effect right there on the Gotney Grapes. Oh, the Skullparter is taking devastating damage. However, from those Hades, oh, which is going to go down first, the Skullparter, or is it going to be the Gotney Grapes? They've both got their permahull down. This could be very close.
But Skullpanda still losing his balloon. Gotney Grapes, however, is getting completely
Flying Restaurant's going in for a
obliterated.
modular ram on the galleon. Oh, what a win this would be. Ah, but it wasn't quite enough damage. And now the Skullparter's going to go down here.
No, they do manage to repair themselves just in the nick of time. Gotney Grapes has no arc on any sort of gun whatsoever, and the Flying Restaurant does pull it out here for the win for the SIRI team. That is a 2-0 victory for SIRI.
That was a very ballsy move from the Flying Restaurant, going for a mobular ram against a galleon on such a committed sniper ship as they had. You know, they won. They got the kill, and yes, SIRI is progressing with an impressive 2-0 victory over